Hi there.
Hi, everyone. What a lovely day we had. It's a rainy day, but it was a lovely, relaxing day. We're actually doing this in the evening, but we want to talk to you about tomorrow.
So tomorrow, finally, we're going to start this week's project. We're going outside.
Yes.
Right?
Finally, it's that time of year.
Yes. And the rain, it was a really rainy day today, but we've got a break in the rain tomorrow. We're going to get started. And garden beds. Prep, that's the main project, right?
Mm-hmm. And as always, our famous thing that we love to do is recycle. So if you've been with us since the beginning or for a while, you know we love to recycle things. So we are recycling wood. We've been wanting to do these raised beds, but we found this family that was moving and they were getting rid of a ton of wood.
Yes, they were. He had a bunch of recycled oak flooring, I guess, from a 100-year-old house. This whole thing, he just had them in a pile. Wanted to get rid of them. I said, great. So we brought them home. We're going to have to, they need a little work to, there's some splintered edges and whatnot. I may have to cut them down a bit, but hopefully it'll be enough to give us at least a couple of raised beds.
So my question to Paul was, is that okay to make that out of raised beds? Because it's indoor flooring. It has a little varnish on one side of it. Is it okay?
I think it'll be fine. I think it'll help it from rotting, help prevent rot for a while. And
it's on the outside anyway. The inside touching the soil will not be. So we're going to give it a shot. I may look it up a little bit, but we're going to give it a shot. It's something temporary, folks. It's something that down the road. Yeah, exactly. But it's something like down the road we might go more into a metal raised bed, or we might try something else. But right now we're trying this out. We have this spot in the back of our house. If you've watched other videos in the past with us, we have a space behind our house where it's just soil, and we've just done it right on the ground. We have had some issues with that. We have had moles and voles and all kinds of critters trying to get in, even with the fence up, bunnies getting in. So we want to try the raised bed, and we're going to build it with a little bit of a hardware cloth or something, a screen.
I have some old aluminum screen, window screen, like a roll of it. I'm going to use that to prevent voles from coming in from the bottom of the raised bed. So I'm going to line the bottom of those, as many as I can. I don't know how much screen I have left, but we're going to line the bottom of those raised beds with screen to keep out the voles. Hopefully that'll help. Because we've literally seen, was it last year or the year before?
Last year.
Romaine lettuce getting pulled underground by
watched
voles.
it happen.
Watch it disappearing into a hole in the ground. It was like, what?
Yeah.
So hopefully this will help prevent that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Excited about it.
So the garden beds, and on that whole row we have at the very end of the house on that back side there, we have some blueberry bushes at the end. We have about 4 blueberry bushes, and it's just kind of like kind of space, and it's soil, and we've mulched it. So what we're trying to do is we've told you about a few weeks ago, we've been getting through the town some wood chips, and we're going to continue to do that to little stages here and there around the yard. We're going to put wood chips around that area, put some stone paths that we have, just stones laying around. We're going to do that so we can go behind the bushes near the house to get blueberries, to pick them. We have some pachysandra growing around there too. We're going to encourage it to eventually kind of go around it, and we'll still have stones in between. But that's what we're doing there to kind of freshen it up. And then also on the other side of the vegetable garden, we built that small deck last year. Somewhere in the summer we made a deck out of recycled wheelchair ramp, and it's great. It was great wood, I guess pressure treated for outdoors.
Pressure treated. And
it's really cute. It's a perfect little spot for us to sit in the mornings with tea, and we love it back there. And we still have a good visual of our pond, and it's a very nice area to sit, very calming. It's right near the house. It's very nice, very private. So we're just going to maybe style it a little bit. Nothing major.
I'm not going to style it. She's going to style it.
Fair. So
I'll work on the raised beds.
Okay,
you
good.
Style
good, because I don't want that job. No, I'll help with that. But mainly we want to just style it a little bit. Basically plant some stuff, maybe add a blanket, just freshen up. I want to touch up a little exterior paint on the chairs that Paul made as well as part of that project there. So yeah, I know this is riveting. the two of us having this conversation. Anyway, it's going to be exciting because we're going to freshen up that whole back of the house.
And we've got to get some plants planted very soon. You know, the last frost date is coming up in the next couple of weeks. Some of the plants we got to get in the ground. We direct sow.
We're a little late on some.
We're a little late on some, but better late than never.
Right.
So we got to get those beds built so we can get some plants in the ground.
It didn't sound like an exciting project to me, but I love having vegetables, and I know it's going to look great. I'm now excited about it because I'm just excited to be outside and have the sunshine. And we had a little bit of a rainy day today, but April showers bring May flowers,
Absolutely.
right? That's the saying. So I'm looking forward to the weeks to come in this lovely summer and having a functioning vegetable garden now where it's great. It's a great time of year where we don't have to frequent the grocery store for things like that.
Absolutely.
It's really nice. It's healthy. You know where it's coming from, and I'm really excited. So, veggie garden this week.
Sounds good.
Let's do it.
Gonna get a nice sleep tonight. So
yeah, I was just gonna say
early
we're
morning.
not doing it yet. I mean, it's dark already. We're not going outside. So tomorrow morning we're gonna get started. We'll see you then.
So here's the pile of wood that I picked up. It is mostly old oak flooring. There's been varnish on one side. I think I'm going to try to sand off that varnish if I can. It's very splintery when they tore up the floor It's all cracked along the edges and whatnot. I'm not sure how much of that I will have to trim off, or maybe we'll leave it on. We'll see how it goes. So that's the wood that I have to work with. This is our garden bed area where we are going to be putting these raised beds. I typically fence this area off, and we have a garden in here. I think raised beds will be easier to manage. I don't know if you can tell too much with the shadows there where the sun is, but this is the area where they're going to go. So here where our garden bed is going to be, the artificial stonework is getting a lot of splashback when we get a storm. The rainwater goes right over the gutters and splashes up against this. And it's starting to peel away a little bit. So I think I'm going to try to scrape this down and clean it up a little bit before we get started. filled with compost. Well, started with compost. Now I'm going to add some of this garden soil. Here's a delivery of free wood chips we just got. I'm about to put them to good use.
We're going to touch up these chairs that Paul made last year. We can put the link in if you would like, so you can see how he made these chairs. We also built this deck last year, and we're going to kind of clean everything down. We're going to touch up the paint just in a few spots. I got a little worn over the winter. Excellent condition. They just need a little touching up. And while I'm doing that, Paul in the background is going to be hanging these hooks that we found free on the side of the road, believe it or not, folks, and they still have tags on them, but we wanted matching hooks. We have one on the side of the house here, and we're actually going to move it. A hanging planter I'm going to hang on the each side of the windows, but I might end up just doing one. So what I want to do is, for now, I bought these faux ferns that I'm going to kind of make it look realistic for now, because we're still just slightly early to be planting anything, but I really want to finish this project and have something nice hanging there. And I want to be able to hang this out of season when nothing's growing yet. So it's going to be a faux fern, and I'll show you how we do that in a little bit. But eventually, when the season's ready, I'm going to have some annual planters, one on each side of the window. Don't mind my gloves, I'm ready to paint, so because I'm a messy painter. But if you can also see, I'll just point out too, if you can see this tree here in the background. This is actually real branches, but we did the faux floral and leaf technique. I wanted it for Easter to have something pretty to look out our kitchen window here for Easter. And I'm going to leave this up until, again, it's season again to plant, and then I'm going to plant some real plant in there, and I'm still thinking about what I actually want to plant there. So for now, I'm going to leave that. If you want to know how I did this, it's very, very similar to what I did in the front yard. 2 weeks ago, we had a kind of a refresh for the front patio and porch area, and I wanted it in time for Easter, but it's more of a spring decor. So I just wanted to show you that we did the same here. If you're really interested in how I did this, you can look in 2 weeks ago. I'll show you that link as well. So let's get going on fixing these. We're going to clean them up first, and then I'm going to touch up the paint. And again, Paul in the background is going to be hanging those hooks. what a difference everything has made with wood chips. We are here, we're letting this kind of take over slowly. We're hoping eventually that Pachysandra will just keep going. So for now, we're leaving it as it is, and we've pulled a few, but we have stones in the back and stones here, so that gives us a little bit of a walkway. Don't mind the music in the background and the traffic sounds, but hopefully you can hear me well. This whole Pachysandra is going to hopefully cover all this, but we'll leave spaces in between for a walkway. That's the ideal thing for us, is we really want it to be like a ground cover and we don't have to do mulch here. But for now, the mulch is great and it's good for the plants. That's the blueberry area. As you can see, it's starting to get there. They're growing, have some buds on them. And then this is the redone, completed veggie garden. We're going to direct sow certain things. And we're also going to, some of our seedlings that we started inside, we're probably going to bring out soon, but probably wait another couple weeks. But what we're going to do is some of the direct seedling, and we'll let you know as time goes on what we're deciding. Because we're still thinking about what we're doing. A couple of the things are like beets and radishes, probably some lettuce of some kind, and some garlic. But also, we're deciding what we're going to do with our asparagus. I'd like this to be more of an annual bed, but I'm not sure. But this is how it's come out. Paul made those fantastic raised beds with recycled wood, which is great, that someone was getting rid of for free. So that worked out really nice for us. We had the soil because we compost, folks, so that's really important to do that. So we're going to add a little bit of topsoil, and we're going to also add a little bit of the perlite with it and mix it all in, as well as our direct sow, and then eventually our other plants. And Paul put the fence back up, which this time I think we're going to leave. We had taken it down last year because we didn't have a real plan. So now that we feel okay about this, we're going to leave the fence. Sorry about the shaky camera, folks. And behind the beds too, Paul had cleaned up the stonework that was just chipping off. It wasn't great, so we're going to keep that. So he had repainted it, and that's all set. We have the hatchway, which I had repainted, and I like to refresh it pretty much every year just because there is rusting. It does get older, so we get that going. And then here on the patio, on the porch, we're all excited because it's coming back to life again for the season, and we really love sitting on this porch, especially in the morning. We do have this pot here, this patio pot, and then I added real twigs and then faux flowers and leaves and some of our real moss and a couple of little fake plants that came with some of the faux flowers. I added that in to make it look a little realistic and have a little life to it. If you want to know how I did that, it's pretty simple, but if you wanted to know how I did it, you can actually look at our video. I will keep the link down below in the description so you can see it. And you can see, like a couple weeks ago, what I did when I was decorating the front porch. I did basically the same thing here. Try not to notice this over here. We have a tarp of stuff. We're actually having a tag sale soon. Last year when we did the trash shed here, we kept it open, but we're going to actually add a roof on top of it this year and a door system so we can keep our lawnmower and lawn equipment. And then on the other side of it, where there's a space, we're going to actually put our trash and recycling bins on that side, so we can have easier access to our tools. And we just don't have a lot of space in our main shed, so this is going to be a space. But right now, there's a tarp there with some items in it because we're getting rain for a while soon. So over here on the hanging pots here, those brackets were actually free on the side of the road. We had seen they're in perfect condition and they still had tags. We bought at Dollar General, we had bought 2 of these. The basket came with also the cocoa filler, and what we decided to do was fill it with faux ferns until we can start growing actual flowers in it for in a couple weeks when it's in our zone. We're able to plant. But unfortunately, I had ordered them on Amazon and it was supposed to be in already. It just wasn't in. So because of that, unfortunately, they're kind of empty. But you'll get the idea. And I'll show you a quick, if they come in time before I get the release the video out, I will show you a quick photo of the 2 planters. And eventually, we'll have real plants in them. and we had brought out the cushions. I'm not really getting particular about new cushions or pillows right now, just because we're feeling it out what we want to do. But I wanted to get it ready for spring, so it's ready there. And if you notice a little thing here on the ground, we have been working slowly on the grass. We basically dug it up a little bit because it was hard soil, so we kind of loosened it up and raked it out, and we're trying to level it the best we can. But we're going to get some tools on it tomorrow to really roll it out and get it compacted a little bit, and we're going to plant some new grass seed here. Finally, we get to see this area start to come together, but we won't see it probably for at least a few weeks, where we'll start seeing baby grass. But for now, this is what it is. We're going to actually put a little Grub-X. I know a lot of people are not keen on chemicals. We're not either, but we've had a big issue with grubs that we cannot do it naturally. We've tried to do it, so we're running out of ideas. So what we're doing now is we're going to put the Grub-X, and we have a big ant issue, so we're trying to tackle that. Sorry for all of you that really don't agree with it. I agree with you. I'm not so jazzed about it either. But we don't have small children, we don't have pets right now, and it just needs to be done. We have to be aggressive because they're taking over. So what we're going to do is put that down, and then after a week's time, we're going to get in there with some grass seed, possibly in a few days. We'll see what the package says. We are getting tons of rain, so that this whole week we were hoping to get some outdoor things done. It's not going to happen. So because of that, because of the rain, we're going to actually go inside next week, and this is the perfect time to do this. We just wanted to show you. This is all dug up. It's going to look so much better in a month's time, and that is all. We hope that you enjoyed this video. If you like this type of video, please give a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching and the support, as always, of our channel. If you're new here, I'm Gina.
I'm Paul.
And Paul's over there in the corner. Well, where is he? Hi, and we are Brambleberry Cottage. We hope that you'll stick around, and hopefully you'll subscribe. Thank you so much for joining us, and wait till this summer when all of this comes together, and we will see how it all gets finished. It'll look great, and we'll be opening our pool soon. We'll be finishing our walkway. We started a little bit. We're kind of changing our mind on how we want to do this. That's why it's half done, but we'll be doing that. We'll be really cleaning up a lot and fixing everything, and you'll start to see it really come together. So stay tuned, and we'll see you next week, where we go inside the house again for some projects. Thanks so much. Have a great day. So they came in at the last minute, and I'm very excited. Hopefully they come out okay. There's 12 of them. Hopefully it's enough. But I mean, they're faux ferns, but a little plasticky, but sometimes you can get really good quality on Amazon. This is okay, but I think once they're all together, it's going to look really nice. I just hope it's enough. I had opted to just get one 12-pack. I probably should have gotten two, but we're going to see. I'm going to use floral foam. I'm going to see if I can break it in half here. Usually I would cut it. I think I'm going to have Paul get me a thing to cut it. I'm just going to have it so they can basically stick in the floral foam box. I'm just going to score this. Just this floral foam block here. That's what I was trying to say, because you know, me and words. Snap it in half. He's going to put a block in each one. Now you don't have to wet this. Normally I would have went with the styrofoam one. I just am cheap and I didn't want to spend that. If it gets a little wet, it's not going to hurt anything. Now this is just to hold us off for a few weeks until we can start planting, maybe even a couple weeks. It depends on how the weather's going. So I'm going to aim for 6 in each one. I'm going to kind of pull it a little bit. Have to bend it a bit. You want it to look full. Now this is maybe looking ahead for the future when we're waiting on certain plants, because we're really only a couple weeks away. I just didn't want to leave it blank. But next time around Easter next year, I'll want this to be something there, especially when I have company over. Now obviously it's not ideal, it's not realistic, but it's something that gives a little color, a little space, a little green, not really color, but a little green to this space, and it makes it look a lot nicer, it makes it come alive a little bit. It pops. Going forward, I would probably invest in 2 of those. So I would have a ton of them in one and a ton of them in the other. So one group, one package each in one. But I think for now it works. I may end up filling it with some real here and there, some other greenery we have. but I like that it's one type of plant in there, and I don't really have any real ferns ready yet. I do have some ferns, but I don't have any ready yet at this time of year. So anyway, for now, that's it. I'm very happy. They came in at the last minute right before we put the video out, so we're going to sneak that in at the end. Hopefully you like it. It's growing on me. I would prefer the real plants, but for now it works. So thank you so much. I had taken the cushions off because we were expecting days and days and days of rain. So sorry that, because this is the next day. Sometimes it'll tell you one day it's coming in and it didn't. So it actually came in at the last minute today before we got the video out. So I just wanted to quickly show you what it looks like. It is very hot today. It's 80 degrees and it honestly feels hotter than that. But here it is again, and you'll see we have our hose out because we're starting to get our pool ready. We have to kind of drain our cover a little bit because rain got on top of it. But we're going to be filling that and getting that ready. I wanted to show it mainly because of the ferns.